Hello guys, it's my apologies that I was not able to upload NBA action tonight. I'm just clearing disk space in my hard drive, so I want to let you know that's what has been going on, but I'll be happy to do it tomorrow, right after I head off the bed over here. But what I would like to comment about right here is the fact that Jared Goff is number 16. Now remember, the Lions went 0-16 and Dan Campbell was a player on that team. 16 years after 2008, they became 0-16 in December of 2008. So just over 16 years after they fell to 0-16, number 16 Jared Goff leads the Lions to the Super Bowl in the year 2024-2025. And in Gematria, what is 2024? Well, for starters, it's Lions. That's Gematria 2024. And they are owned by the Ford family. It is Ford, that's Gematria 25. Now before, I told you I liked 6 years after Brady's 6th Super Bowl, Jared Goff can play in the Super Bowl 72 months later. Now, Daniel Campbell is Gematria of, his middle name is Allen, so Daniel Allen Campbell 72, and Jared Goff is Gematria 72. So Jared Goff can make the Super Bowl again 72 months later, 6 years later, 12 months by 6 years. Jared Goff can make the Super Bowl at New Orleans. He lost to New England. I get just a teeny bit nervous that it's actually 84 months after he lost the Super Bowl against the Rams. A Lion versus Tiger Super Bowl matchup with the Bengals. But I like the Lions for Super Bowl 59 because, again, his last Super Bowl was at Atlanta, Georgia. In Super Bowl 53, he can make it again in Super Bowl 59. And Daniel Campbell is Gematria of the Super Bowl 59. Coach Dan Campbell by itself. And Campbell became coach in 2021. It's the Caesars Superdome. That's Gematria 21. It's been 66 years since the Lions' last title. December of 1957. It could be 66 seasons, but the Caesars is the Gematria of 66 that I've described before. And Campbell became the coach in the January of 2021, so that's the Caesars Gematria, and the amount of time to the Super Bowl in the 2024 would be, in 2025 I should say, would be 49 months later. Now 49 is Gematria of New Orleans, Louisiana, and abbreviations, and I get a little bit nervous, and I'm not really nervous, but the prospect that the Lions could make it back at home at the Bay Area where Jared Goff grew up a 49ers fan, played at Cal Berkeley, so it's gonna be double coated by design, but 61 months is Gematria of Detroit Lions. And it is a double code. But what I do like is the fact that the Los Angeles Rams is 67, so 67 years after 1957, the year of the Lions' last championship is 2024, so former Rams quarterback will try to lead the Lions to their next title again. And Jared Goff, his middle name Thomas, middle name Jared Thomas Goff, 67. It could be 67 years since the Lions' last title in 1957. So if they do wait another season till the 2025, December of 2025. Now you have to go by December, I believe, because when you go to the Lions' last championship, it occurred in December. So you got to approach it by the month, I think, or by the year, or both. So if we go by December, then December of 2025 would be the 68th year, and championship is Camacho 68. But what I do like is the playoff record for Dan Campbell. It's 2-1 right now. Caesars is 21. It could be 4-1 like Camacho of Super Bowl. If, let's say, the Lions get home field and with 2 wins, they can make it to the Super Bowl. So that's what stands out to me about Super Bowl in the 49 months from the time that Dan Campbell became coach. But I'm showing you how I am open to the double code, but I do like the Detroit Lions to make it to the Super Bowl next year. So the amount of time, again, from the Lions-Packers 0-16, December the 28th of 2028. I just got to go by the meeting of Jared Goff's numbers. So, Dan Campbell, he lost the playoff game at San Francisco. The Giants collapsed in the fourth quarter, 2002 or 2003. Blew the big lead against the 49ers, and Jared Goff went to college at Cal Berkeley. So these things could really only relate to the Lions making it to their first NFC championship game in 30 years. So really, is that going to connect to the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 60? I just have to think it just connects to the NFC title game last year. And he grew up a 49ers fan. But we got to stick with the 16 years. I mean, he didn't grow up watching Joe Montana in 1994, but let's say he liked Joe Montana. Who's his idol? Who's his idol? Who is his idol? His idol. Who did he idolize? He admired Joe Montana. So that's the number 16 we speak about. And the amount of time from the opening week. Now, let me go to that 0-16 game. Hey, this is what I like. Over 16 years after 0-16, this would be 193 months later from the time that they make it to the Super Bowl with the former quarterback of the Los Angeles Rams. So really, we have to go off of Gematria title in Caesars Superdome. And of course, everything that we've described with New Orleans. And what I like about New Orleans, again, Jared Goff won the NFC title at New Orleans against the Saints. So he's going to make it back to the Super Bowl at New Orleans after he last won an NFC championship over at the city of New Orleans, can make it back to the Super Bowl at New Orleans. So I am, again, open to a double code because, again, the Bengals are supposed to win next year, and a Bengals-Lions matchup is compelling, but it can easily be someone else that we don't really know about just yet. And that when the Bengals do win the Super Bowl, they'd be 1-3, so who does 13 connect to? That's going to be the next step. When we think about Super Bowl 60. But this is pretty legit. This is legit. The 16 years, the idolization of Joe Montana, it's all starting to connect together. The childhood idol, Aaron Rodgers. Who's his idol? Who's his idol? I see Aaron Rodgers there. I see Joe Montana. Right. His idol is Aaron Rodgers. He was upset when they didn't take Aaron Rodgers. That's his idol. Aaron's Gematria 49, Super Bowl 49. And Rodgers by itself is the 4-1 playoff record with Baltimore for Dan Campbell and company. So yeah, disregard previous. Joe Montana's not idle, but the main thing is that they make the Super Bowl 16 years after the year of Super Bowl 43, when the Lions went 0-16.